we're live. Yet again, your Circus Voices team on hand to deliver the immediate after-show response following Batacchio. Looks like it'd be Batacchio. We hear it's Batacchio from Cirk La Putyka at Zoo Southside as part of Edinburgh Festival Fringe. This time I think we're going with best things and worst things, because our brains are getting tired. So let's flip this around. And there we go.
I loved this show. This might be the best show I've seen in a long time. For me, I think the best thing is just the overall sensibility. It's like your best, most exotic, heady, David Lynchian circus nightmares come to life in front of you. Worst things, it felt like some of the vignettes weren't quite finished. Some of them could maybe have been developed a little further, but I'm still just overwhelmed at how much I enjoyed the show.
Cool.
I agree. I loved the theme and ambience and atmosphere. It was a bit dark and velveteen, sparkly and warm and sensuous, and I really enjoyed the almost magic tricks that they use as the narrative to kind of spin through all the montages. A couple just missed that climax, that end joke. I'm really glad that they weren't afraid of doing a real quick joke, like the song with the flying man and the pretend wings. Come on, up in the air, boom, done, off. It was funny, it was pretty, let's not string it out so everyone gets bored. So I like that it was fast paced and fast moving. Worst thing, I would say some of the skills that were based just purely on form were very beautiful, but in the piece I think were undermined when they didn't relate to that kind of narrative that was spinning through it. They felt a bit alien.
My favourite bits, I felt that a couple of the later ensemble pieces showed potential for some really interesting aesthetics, and I started to get really intrigued by what could come out of that. But I found the magic really poorly executed, and most of the time through that show little bits of me died inside and cringed, and it felt like a good student performance, but not a professional show.
My favourite bits, I guess the overall pace was pretty good. Kept you guessing, you didn't know how long each act was going to be, so there was no predictability on you were going to get a 5-minute act and then a pause, apart from maybe a couple of bits. So I guess that, and on the skills are quite high. Looks like there's been a few injuries. There was a lot of knee braces, so I wonder what's going on there. Poor bits, again, narrative. There's a sense within the costumes that there's an overall connection between the characters, but we have no idea what it is or why. They don't even touch on that. The very, very worst bit for me was right at the very end. They have an amazing teeterboard ensemble piece, which was really quick, really clever, really inventive, and then 3 ropes come down, they climb them, oh no, spoilers, they climb them, and that's with some string, and that's it. That's the finale. Absolutely pointless, the last bit, but yeah.
Okay, and then flip. So I did not hate the show, but I did find it quite dull and uninspiring, and I think they definitely are at their best when they take things into a darker place. Like the burlesque with the splits and the vegetables, I thought was cool and interesting, and little autopsy scene, I did like the sleight of hand there, and I did find the technical skills a bit underwhelming, and I think somebody already said it, like they started with this idea that they didn't follow through, this web of black silks and straps that looked fascinating and then just disintegrated, and I thought there were a lot of incoherent choices. When Rebecca said about like the things coming in really quick, like the little gags, it was like a photo montage or something of little bits of historical entertainment, but I had no idea why they were doing this, and I got annoyed by seeing Adidas stripes on a pair of trainers with somebody who looked like they were supposed to be some kind of period costume, but I couldn't get what the sense of world was supposed to be. But I didn't hate it, and I've seen other shows of this company that I've really loved, so I am seeing it through that lens as well. Yes, we're flipping round again. Right,
I have a bit that I forgot to say.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that. Let's see what we can do by obscuring parts of the teachables or people or whatever's going on, and how that can change the tricks and change the illusion. I got a lot from that, but I was sat at the side and it didn't work quite as well. Like you can see little bits and you don't get that full view of the tricks using the curtain and opening and closing the curtain. I enjoyed that. I haven't seen that stuff.
It really reminded me of the Club Silencio scene from Mulholland Drive. And I think I'm looking at it through like a very Lynchian, deconstructed, deliberately discontextualized lens. It felt to me like a very warped, not necessarily linear view of kind of travelling carnival through kind of Dust Bowl America. And kind of, at some points it's coherent, at some points it's not. And you have this kind of chorus of pony boys in women's lingerie towards the end, and bizarre clown dance numbers. And I think I'm seeing it through quite a kind of filmic, deconstructed lens.
I think they could have taken that further. I think it could have been amazing, but there was just something about this uncommitted characterization of that just didn't look like they fully believed what they were trying to do.
Do you know what it feels like? It feels like they've had weeks and weeks and weeks in a big room and have had loads and loads and loads of fun, especially with the curtain. Like the way that that's integrated into the show is really nice. So a lot of the inventiveness stuff just looks like they've had a lot of time to kind of come up with stuff, and it feels like the character and the costume were added in the last week. So they're not integrated into what they're doing. They're like a layer on top of it, and that's acceptable, but it just bugs me.
It feels to me like a longer show that's had to be condensed. It feels to me like a full-length show that would have had an interval, and has had to be chopped back for the time considerations of the Fringe. So it feels the ebb and flow and building, and particularly at the end, where it kind of the movement quality becomes very, very liquid and fluid, and the humans become integrated with the apparatus and kind of flipping and rolling and contorting, and this kind of wonderful scene with the ropes at the end that's never really realised into anything meaningful but has so much promise. And it does feel like there was maybe more material in places it's gone and they've had to throw it out because of the very tight time constraints of the Fringe. It'd be interesting to see if that were the case and if it went further.
The girl with the two loops, I felt that if she had done that with the backdrop of that integrated web, that would have been so much more interesting to me than stripping everything away and just having her.
I would have quite happily not had her at all and just had the really interesting web and silks and have all of them on it. I thought hers was really standard and boring, and I've seen them before.
What I really liked, I don't know if I can see myself, what I really liked about that that act with the girl on the stirrups was the lighting, and when she was closer to the ground it was more effective, and it had this kind of kaleidoscope effect with the two shadows and then an extra light was brought in and there were three shadows. But when her routine took her further up the apparatus, that kind of quality was lost a little bit. I just chipped in there because I had thoughts about that. Does anybody have any final thoughts?
I've got 6 pages of thoughts, but I'm not going to read them right now.
I'm done. I could just waffle on forever about how amazing I think this show is, but I shan't.
And I did think, as we were watching it, about other audience reactions and how maybe because we come from such a specific place, or I was thinking about it myself, that actually me taking account of the other audience reactions is valid, because there was whoops and and
really
it's not places that I would have whooped, but yeah, there was a much better feeling in the room than there was inside of me. So anyway, that's my final thoughts. I'm sure we'll hear from Gwen's notebook later. So until next time, bye.